This is the Solve Off-Road 79 series. We've just put this thing together in the last sort of 9 months to really test out our products, run our gear, put it through the paces, and boy have we done that this week. Getting to the underneath of this car where we, spend most of our time in the shop, we've got Marks Portals. That's given us 100 mm of diff clearance underneath this car, which really puts you in front of the pack on most trails. That 100 mm gets the diffs up, control arms up, the leaf springs up. Everything underneath there is 4 inches higher than anybody else on the trail, so that puts you way out in front. Also the added strength, they're really tough, and the ratio they give you is spot on for 35s and 37s on the track. It's really, really cool. We've set that up with our custom suspension for the Portals. Fox 2.5 DSCs, really big shock, will work in any conditions, you can work it as hard as you want, and it does not matter. It will live through the desert and it will live through the rock trails, and they ride really well. Also, they give you the option of adjusting the compression ratios and the setups to work for your setup and to work for what you're driving on as well, which is really important when you're talking about heavy rigs and cool tracks. As always, super important on these tracks to have some really good protection. So we've got the Off-Road Animal front bar, Warn winch up there as well to get you out of trouble when you need it, some good recovery points. Marks adapters, got a bash plate underneath protecting all the steering, which is also super important. One of the best parts of it, sill protection. You can't go on any good trails without it, without major damage. We've got a set of Legend X sliders underneath there. Best set I've ever had on a car. Super awesome. Worked the hell out of them this week as well, so they've done their job. Up on the roof, we've set it up with a wedge tail roof rack and some really cool lighting up there just to sort of make a campsite a bit easier. It's a lightweight roof rack with a really good load rating, so we love those. Moving further towards the back, we've put in a rear winch and a cradle and some good tow points on the back with the Marks Adapters high clearance tow bar. That gets us out of trouble no matter what position we're in, no matter where we are or who I've got to get out of trouble. We've got the capability to do it. It really works well, the rear winch, the tow bar, multiple load rated tow points to sort of make it work for us. So another important thing is your traction, guys. We've got a wicked set of 35-inch BFG KM3s on this, on our POS 40 CSA wheels. Really good setup. They've been tough. They're rubbing against the rocks. They love it. Traction is just a plenty with a good KM3 under the car. So we've done some night driving on this trip. The Lightforce HDX2s have been really, really good. Wicked sort of spread and some good distance when you need it. We've got a steady light bar in there as well as 2 steady spotties on the side. I've got one set up as a fog, so that's just good for when it's been nice and foggy and it's giving you some of that yellow sort of light that you're looking for. Up on the roof, roof rack's got the steady amber lights for the campsite, and I've made a campsite light that stands up on a pole to give you some really nice bright lighting from above that sort of works really nice for you setting up your campsites. So to finish off the front here, we've got the UHF antenna from RFI, GME in the cab. I've got a snorkel, and we got the wicked MSA mirrors that have already hit a couple of rock walls today, which have seemed to survive, and they're pretty tough. So here it is, guys, a rock solid tray and canopy setup on the back of our 79. This one here is 1950 long. It's to suit the 300 extension we've got. Really cool setup. The beauty of that extension and the tray setup gives you 4 underbelly boxes or under tray boxes, heaps more storage, and they're actually really usable on the rock solid tray and canopy with the way you set up the actual front box there. Another cool thing we've done with this one, just to give us a bit more tray space and utilize that extension, we've got a 1 meter canopy or 1050 long canopy. Wicked setup inside, good pantry, fits the 85 litre fridge really nice with a bit of a storage drawer underneath. It's a really cool setup, really simple, and it works really well. So the canopy setup works really well, setup's really good. Twin 35s can fit on the back underneath the roof rack it comes with, which is another awesome little part of the setup Jared has. We've got a dustproof, waterproof trundle tray, super important. In front of that underneath there's a 60 litre water tank. The other thing that we really love with this tray and canopy is how tough they are. You'll have a look around this thing, you'll see how many times we've put it into the embankments, into rocks, and it just cops it all day long, full weight of the car on it. Super strong, super tough, will do anything you ask of it. Another different feature with this tray is it's 1850 wide on the back of the Cruiser, so it's a little bit wider than your normal setups. The Portals allow us to do that. They allow us to run a wider tray, not so wide a flare, rock solid setup for the flares, work really well, they cover the tyres really nicely. Another cool part about these trays is that they are what they're called. They are rock solid, they're rock solid trays. As you can see, the back end of the tray here gives you a big section of protection. Your tapered toolbox doesn't run into the back, so you can lay these corners into bits and pieces, into the rocks, and it cops it all day long. I've had the weight of the car on here and it's held up every single time, not a problem. So that's the Solve Off-Road 79 Series dual cab on the Portals. If you've got any questions, comment below.